Today's video is sponsored by Audible. Audible is the premier source of audiobooks and audio entertainment, including Audible originals like documentaries, audiobooks, news, comedies, and scripted shows you can't hear anywhere else. And with the super easy to use Audible app, you can listen wherever you go. I use Audible mainly when I'm at the gym or in the car, and lately I've been listening to Super Mario: How Nintendo Conquered America by Jeff Ryan. It's a great listen, and I've been learning a lot about Nintendo's history and how Mario worked its ways overseas from Japan. This is the best time to sign up for Audible. Every month you can choose one audiobook that you get totally free, regardless of price, and 2 Audible originals as well. So if Audible sounds good to you, you can start a 30-day trial, plus get 1 audiobook and 2 Audible originals all for free by going to audible.com/MysticUmbreon or texting MysticUmbreon to 500-500. If you for some reason don't enjoy Audible, you can cancel whenever and you still get to keep everything in your library forever. That's right, with Audible, you own what's in your library, and if you ever buy an audiobook that you don't enjoy, you can easily swap it out with another one. It's an amazing deal and it helps to support the channel. So head over to audible.com/MysticUmbreon or text MysticUmbreon to 500-500. Again, a massive thank you to Audible. But for now, let's jump into the video. Oh hey there, we're back in Galar again with a new addition to the Best Team series. Today, we have the Best Team series for those of you Sword and Shield players that decided to choose Grookey. Grookey is one of my favorite grass starters and has an incredible final evolution. You guys are here for the best team revolving around Grookey though. Before we head any further than that, let me explain what a Best Team is if you're a newcomer to my channel. A Best Team is a team of 6 Pokemon that is designed for the absolute best performance for its said Pokemon game. The team usually revolves around a best starter, but since we're using alternate starters, our team of 6 will be revolving around Grookey, specifically for Pokemon Sword and Shield. I decided to create a universal team this time around because the best teams have already been created. This isn't the best team, it's just an alternate starter one, so I feel there doesn't need to be a separate team for Grookey for both games. Plus it's not like it's going to change much. Anyways, each team member is designed to do well against certain gym leaders, the Elite 4 members, champion, rival, and the evil team leaders. In the end, we have a team that does well against all the most important battles in-game. When making this team, we do provide movesets for each of the Pokemon. We include TM moves, but we do not allow egg moves nor post-game tutor moves. TRs will of course be included like usual, but will only be available from 3-star raids or below. I'll also provide a list from Serebii of where to find the TRs in the description below. So yeah, you know what's going down though with this team, let's hop right into it. So like I mentioned earlier, Grookey is going to be the starter for this best team. Now Grookey isn't my least favorite of the starter Pokemon in Galar. In fact, I think it's actually one of the cutest. Thwackey is kind of just okay then. But then you get to Rillaboom, and the design for it is actually pretty cool. Along with the design it has, it comes with a pretty fun and diverse move pool for a physical attacking grass type mon. It brings to the table something new to this generation too. Grass Pokemon actually do semi-well here, surprisingly. In past gens, grass types have always gotten the short end of the stick. But in this gen, Rillaboom embraces the stick hardcore, and that's what makes it great. It's the best grass starter we've had for a while in terms of doing well for an in-game team for grass types. Now teach us, oh great grass type starter you are. Show us how well you do with your boss moveset. Beating down into Rillaboom's moveset, we have Drum Beating, Earthquake, Acrobatics, and Assurance. Drum Beating I think is the best physical grass type move Rillaboom gets due to it not having any recoil damage done to itself. Moves like Wood Hammer have that effect. Drum Beating is also nifty because it drops the opponent's speed. That can also be learned upon evolution or move relearned. Going into some more coverage based stuff, we have Earthquake, Acrobatics, and Assurance. Earthquake is a great coverage move in general, taking care of typings like Fire. Earthquake is also a TR. Acrobatics is great for other grass type mons, and the fact it can do double the amount of damage if it's not holding an item is also pretty deadly. The TM for this can be found in Balanlea. How to get this TM is rather interesting. You must be in the fire type clothing and talk to an NPC next to one of the first houses you find. Assurance is the last move I'm going to give Rillaboom, and that can be found over on Route 7. Assurance is here if you don't want to go through the trouble of finding Darkest Lariat. If you want Darkest Lariat, it's a TR, and like always will be in the description below of where to find it. Dark coverage is always nice to have. With these moves, Rillaboom can do well against Ness's entire team, Kabu's Ninetales and Arcanine if you get Earthquake on it, but you'll still need to be really careful. Alistair's Yamask, Cursula, and Gengar in Shield. Gordy's team is set from Shuckle and Sword. Melanie's Lapras in Shield. Pierce's Scrafty and Skuntank. Ryan's Gigalith, Sandaconda, and Duraludon. Hop's Trevenant, Heatmore, Boltton, and Inteleon. Marnie's Toxicroak, Scrafty, and Morpeko. Bede's entire team. Oleana's entire team. Trim and Rose's Persiker, Klinklang, and Copperajah, and the Eternatus battle. For the Champion Cup teams, it does well against Marnie's Toxicroak, Scrafty, and Morpeko, Hop's Pinkerchin and Inteleon, Bede's Mawile, Ness's entire team except for Pelipper, Bee's entire team in Sword, Alistair's entire team in Shield, Ryan's Torkoal, Turtonator, and Duraludon, and finally, Leon's Aegislash, Dragapult, Seismitoad, and Cinderace. Overall, Rillaboom can really hold its own in Galar and definitely shows off why it's really close to Cinderace in terms of being the best starter. Sizzling things up is the next Pokemon on our team, being Centiskorch. Sizzlepede can be found over on Route 3 very early in the game. So this Pokemon is a new member of the Galar Best teams, and the reasoning for it is because of its really interesting typing of Bug and Fire. Fire, as we already know, is a very dominating typing because of Cinderace's performance in the original Best team. The Bug typing is fun because we have all seen the Dark Pokemon lurking around Galar in Team Yell. We will have more coverage for the Dark type Pokemon later, but for now, having a Bug type Mon for those Psychic and Dark type moves will be handy to use. What I also really love about the Centiskorch line as well is the fact it gets moves early on for the stats it's good for, meaning its physical attack. It gets Flame Wheel at level 15 and gets Bug Bite at level 20. Those are already 260 base power attacks at the earliest level of 15. It's a really great early Pokemon, especially with the dominant typing combo as this. Let me demonstrate it more with its moveset. Going in the Centiskorch's moveset, it has Flame Wheel first and then Fire Lash later on, following its secondary stab of Bug Bite early on and then X-Scissor. I am aware Flare Blitz is a thing, but I hate recoil damage. If you want to use Flare Blitz though, more power to you, literally. Fire Lash can be learned at level 53, and then X-Scissor can be found via TR. I chose X-Scissor over Lunge because Lunge is learned at level 60. I'm sure you guys don't want to wait that long, so just find the TR for X-Scissor. Following for coverage, we have Thunderfang and Crunch. Thunderfang is obvious. We need it for coverage against Water-type mons. The TM for that can be found at the East Hammerlock Pokemon Center. Crunch can be learned at level 46, and that's great for Ghost-type mons mainly. With these moves, Centiskorch can do well against Milo's team, Opal's Mawile and Togekiss, Gordy's Barbarical with Thunderfang if you want to be brave, Melanie's entire team and Shield, although going against Lapras is not recommended. Pierce's Malamar and Obstagoon, Hop's Trevenant and Inteleon, but I would only recommend Trevenant. Marnie's Liepard and Morpeko, Bede's entire team, Oleana's Frostlass, Serena and Milotic, just be careful of those Water-type moves, and Trim and Rose's entire team. Then for the Champion Cup, Centiskorch does well against Marnie's Liepard and Morpeko, Hop's Corviknight and Inteleon, just be careful. Bede's Mawile, you can technically take out Ness's team with Thunderfang, but I wouldn't recommend it. Bee's Hawlucha and Sword, Alistair's entire team and Shield, and finally Leon's Edgeslash and Dragapult. Now it's pretty obvious that Centiskorch is no true replacement for Cinderace in the Best team, however it still does pretty well and is at the very least deserving of making it to the alternate starter's Best team. Up next is a swimmer we all know and love, Barraskewda. I've explained why this mon is great a lot already, so I'm just going to replay what I've said about it before. You get this thing as an Arrokuda on Route 2 or on Holberry. It then evolves at level 26. It might be super frail of 61 HP, 60 defense, and 50 special defense, but it has monstrous attack being at 123 and 136 speed, making it really fast. It's honestly so much better than I could have possibly imagined, and I'd even go as far as to say it's a lot better than Inteleon. I hope you Inteleon fans don't get mad at me. I'm not going out of my way to hate on it, it's just the reality I see. If you Dynamax Barraskewda and use Max Geyser, it sets up Rain, which will double its already ridiculously high speed. It's just really good. Anyways, I'll stop gushing over it and get into its moveset. Hey, guess what? We're using the same exact moveset again. So rather than me explain it for the 4th time, let's just use a replay again. For its moveset, we have Liquidation, Psychic Fangs, Poison Jab, and Ice Fang. Liquidation is a really solid water stab move for Barraskewda, which can be learned at level 48. Just use its earlier water moves until then. If you happen to come across its TR before that though, I would definitely recommend teaching it to Barraskewda. Psychic Fangs is next, and that's for the plethora of fighting types in this region. That will be found as a TR and can be located in Den 2. Next is Poison Jab, and that's here for the fairy Pokemon of this region. This TR can be found in Den 29. And finally we have Ice Fang, which is fortunately found as a TM in the rightmost Pokemon Center in Hammerlock. For the millionth time with these moves, Barraskewda can do well against Kabu's team, Bee's team except Pangoro and Sword, Alistair's Yamask and Shield, Opal's team except for Mawile, Gordy's team except for Barbarical and Sword, Ryan's Gigalith, Flygon and Sandaconda, Hop's Trevenant, Heatmore and Rillaboom, Marnie's Toxicroak, Oleana's Serena, Salazzle and Garbodor, and then Eternatus. And for that Champion Cup, it can do well against Marnie's Toxicroak and Grimmsnarl, Hop's Rillaboom, Bede's entire team is set from Mawile, Bee's entire team and Sword, Alistair's Chandelure and Shield, Ryan's entire team is set from Duraludon, and finally Leon's Dragapult, Haxorus and Charizard. Barraskewda is definitely starting to grow on me, which is really no surprise considering how much I am surrounding myself with it. I think this will be the last time we see Barraskewda on a Best team for a while though, which is definitely a good thing. It's exhausting to talk about so much. Up next is another returning member being Lucario. Riolo can be found in the Giant's Cap at levels 28 through 30. The rarity of this Pokemon is a little crazy, but I promise it is worth getting. Lucario, as you guys have seen in previous Best teams, has dominated the Galar region with its phenomenal typing of Fighting and Steel. Fighting stomps out literally everything across Galar, and the Steel typing takes care of all the fairy types as well. Lucario is known for being able to attack on both the physical and special side too, so having the mixed option is also really nice. The move pool it has access to as well is also really neat, consisting of an array of different options, but I think the moveset we've used for it before will work wonders for it like the last time. Lucario feels legendary, and with the power it has, I feel it is. Lucario's moveset is the same as last time. Aura Sphere, Bulldoze/Earthquake, Flash Cannon, and Ice Punch. Aura Sphere is the best option for Lucario to get in my opinion because Aura Sphere is Lucario's signature move. A great fighting special attack that isn't Focus Blast and has great accuracy works for me. It can be learned via Move Learner or learned upon evolution. Next is the secondary stab being Flash Cannon, and once again this attack is going to dominate all the Fairy-mons across Galar. A special Steel type move also shreds. Next up for coverage, Bulldoze and Earthquake. Bulldoze is here if you don't want to spend 8k watts in Earthquake. The team for that can be found in the Giant's Cap. Earthquake is the better option, and I mentioned how to get that earlier. Ice Punch is a phenomenal coverage move, and that can be found in the Northern Wind and Pokemon Center. Ground types are covered with this. With this moveset, Lucario can do well against Bees, Pangoro, and Sword, Alistair's Mimikyu and Gengar and Shield, Opal's entire team, Gordy's entire team and Sword, Melanie's entire team and Shield, Pierce's Scrafty, Skuntank, and Obstagoon, Ryan's Gigalith and Duraludon, Hop's Heatmore, Snorlax, and Boltund, Marnie's entire team, Oleana's entire team except for Milotic, Trim and Rose's entire team except for Excavalier, and the Eternatus battle. In the Championship Cup, it does well against Marnie's entire team, Hop's Double, Pinkerchin, and Snorlax, Bede's entire team, Nessa's Dreadnought, Bee's Hawlucha and Sword, Alistair's Chandelure and Gengar and Shield, Ryan's entire team, and finally Leon's Aegislash, Dragapult, Haxorus, and Cinderace. Just be careful. Lucario is an absolute gem, and I'm glad I got to include it on another best team. I do hope all you enjoy Lucario as well, because while some might think it's overhyped, I think it's all justified. Wide load coming through. Hi Snorlax, welcome back once again for the millionth time. I explain it in every best team. Snorlax is your filler Pokemon on the team. It's the best normal type Pokemon we can have in Galar with a wide variety of great attacks ranging from just about every typing you can get. It literally has an attack for everything and dominates an attack and just being a fat tank. If you have a problem and don't know how to deal with it, Snorlax will do it for you. That's all I need to explain about Snorlax at this point. Munchlax can also be found in the Monostoke Riverbank with a 5% chance to encounter during normal weather. Not as hard as Riolu, but it can still be a little bit of a pain. Now for Snorlax, you can do a lot with its moves, but I'm going to go for the usual Galar special. Body Slam, High Horsepower, Zen Headbutt, and Thunder Punch. Body Slam is the best move Snorlax can get in terms of normal typing. That can be learned to level 28 and has a base power of 80. Next up is High Horsepower, and that's the better option instead of using Earthquake. Well, for convenience anyways. Ground type moves are always dominant for coverage. Next up is Zen Headbutt. That is the supreme coverage for what Snorlax struggles with the most, fighting types. Zen Headbutt is also a TR. Lastly is Thunder Punch. I thought this would be the best move to have in terms of coverage for Snorlax. The rest of the team already has great fire and ice coverage, so I thought Electric would work well. With Snorlax's moveset, you can easily take on Opal's Mawile, Gordy's entire team except for Shuckle and Sword, Pierce's Skuntank, Ryan's Gigalith, Flygon, and Duraludon, Hop's Heatmore and Boltund, Marnie's Toxicroak and Morpeko, Oleana's Salazzle and Garbodor, Trim and Rose's Persiker, Klinklang, and Copperajah, and then the Eternatus battle. Moving on to the Champion Cup, Snorlax is well against Marnie's Toxicroak and Morpeko, Hop's Corviknight, Pinkerchin, and Inteleon, Bede's Mawile, Nessa's entire team, technically Bede's entire team and Sword, but it's really not recommended, Alistair's Chandelure and Gengar and Shield, Raihan's Torkoal, Turtonator, and Duraludon, and finally Leon's Aegislash, Cinderace, and Charizard. This isn't Snorlax's first rodeo, and I doubt it'll be the last. As long as Snorlax makes an appearance in a region, you can almost guarantee it'll end up in a best team in one way or another. So you should all get used to that if you're not already. Lastly on the team is a brand new member being Grimmsnarl. The easiest and most convenient way to find Grimmsnarl for me was to find Morgrim in Glimwood Tangle. To me, it was an easy set encounter, and the great thing is too, you can have it before you face up against Bee and Alistair. You will have to level it up to 42, but that shouldn't be too hard to do. Now some of you must be shaking your heads asking, why the change from Gardevoir and Obstagoon? Well, those two mons work better for their individual games. Grimmsnarl I feel works better for a team that's involving both games rather than a single individual team for Sword or Shield. It has the Dark and Fairy typing, being able to cover multiple Pokemon at once. Ghost, Dark, Psychic, Fighting, Grimmsnarl covers a lot. I would argue it's his team's MVP with how well it does across the Galar region. It looks great on paper and its performance is just as great. The moveset we have should be fun to use as well, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Grimmsnarl's moveset will be consisting of some new fun moves that we haven't had on a best team before, so let's check those out. We have Spirit Break and False Surrender. Both of these are its new signature moves for its Fairy typing and Dark typing, and can be learned right when it evolves or can be move relearned. Lastly, we have Brick Break and Ice Punch. Brick Break can be found on Route 8 and Ice Punch in the Northern Wind and Pokemon Center. Brick Break is great for its coverage against Steel type mons, and Ice Punch is just great coverage overall to have. And finally with these moves, Grimmsnarl can do well against Gordy's entire team except for Shuckle and Sword, Melanie's Darmanitan, Ice-Cube, and Lapras and Shield, Pierce's Scrafty, Skuntank, and Obstagoon, Ryan's Gigalith, Flygon, and Duraludon, Hop's Trevenant and Snorlax, Marnie's Liepard, Scrafty, and Morpeko, Oleana's Frostlass and Serena, Trim and Rose's Ferrothorn, Persiker, Klinklang, and Copperajah, but I wouldn't recommend it, and the Eternatus battle. And finally, in the Champion Cup, Grimmsnarl can do well against Marnie's Liepard, Scrafty, Morpeko, and Grimmsnarl, Hop's Double and Snorlax, B's entire team in Sword, Alistair's entire team in Shield, Ryan's Goodra, Flygon, and Duraludon, and finally Leon's Aegislash, Dragapult, and Haxorus. Yeah, Grimmsnarl is no slouch, and can put in a fair amount of work. It's always nice to add a new Pokemon to the best team series, and I'm really glad I got to add Grimmsnarl to the mix. Well, that pretty much wraps up this best team for Grookey. I hope you guys enjoyed some of the new faces we've seen on this team. I know some of you probably wanted some new Pokemon, so I hope the few we did have made some of you happy. Remember, it's not about originality or newness, it's about the Pokemon that do the best job. These Pokemon to me do the best job possible. But let me know what you think down below on whether or not you enjoyed the team. If you enjoyed the video, why not leave a like and subscribe to my channel with notifications on, that way you never miss an upload. If you want to support me further, consider following my Twitch where I stream a lot of Pokemon content and all kinds of other Nintendo content like Zelda, Fire Emblem, and much more. Also, I've been reviewing every episode of My Hero Academia Season 4 over on MysticSage, so head over there if you're into that too. I would love that a lot. Want to support me further and gain cool perks? Check out my Patreon. Daniel Leone, Lady Crimson, Memory Martin, The Lazy Leo, Matthew Young, Awesome Lego, Jarrett Weiss Austin, Sudden Grider, and Enigma97 did, and I want to thank them personally for going above and beyond. It means the world to me. I think I'm gonna wrap this up though. I'm MysticUmbreon, and I will see you in the future for more awesome Pokemon content.